Soil is an immense hotbed of living organisms. It feeds us, and we all depend on it. Even though it covers the Earth in a thin layer that is only a few dozen centimeters thick, it is the site of intense activity and home to an extremely rich ecosystem. Insects, worms, and the billions of bacteria that live in soil digest mineral, plant, and animal matter like a huge stomach. Then they convert this matter into the nutrients necessary for plant growth. These plants will in turn provide food for human beings and animals. But the fine layer around the Earth is delicate. In dry and arid environments, it is particularly vulnerable. It can take 500 years for 2.5 centimeters of soil to form, but only a few years to destroy it. This is called desertification. Contrary to popular perception, desertification refers to land degradation resulting from climatic variations and human activities. It is not a natural process. It is the result of mankind's actions. Today, a third of land is threatened by desertification.
For the case study, we chose to use Wisconsin. So the major cause of soil degradation in Wisconsin is erosion, specifically from construction sites. So residential and commercial construction sites are being built close to open water sources, such as streams, rivers, lakes, etc., which allows the sedimentation from the construction sites to flow into these water sources. On sites that are less than 5 acres, federal, state, and local laws only require minimum erosion control measures, which means there's very little prevention of soil erosion.
So now we'll be looking at the consequences of erosion in Wisconsin. So the sediment runoff from construction sites lands into open water sources, as said previously. This sediment erosion has been identified as the #1 pollutant of surface water. And as a result of this poor water quality, there is loss of habitat from surrounding plants and animals. There is an increase of solar heating of water, and as a result, warm water holds less oxygen than cooler water, and this affects cold water fish such as trout. The sedimentation in water also clogs the gills of fish and aquatic insects, and it causes algal blooms and alterations in the food chain.
So those are the environmental consequences. So as far as the socioeconomic consequences, the contaminated water hinders farming, and in regions such as the Midwest as a whole and Wisconsin specifically, these regions are dominated by agriculture, and a contaminated water source deeply affects both the people in the area and their livelihood, the economic stimulation that comes from the agriculture. There's also the soil degradation also lowers the aesthetic and recreational value of the water sources, and water pollution leads to a devaluation of fishing facilities, which again affects the local community both socially and economically.
Now we'll look at the small-scale erosion management strategies, and they fall under 2 categories: perimeter controls and tracking pads. For perimeter controls, there are silt fences and straw bales, which are lined around the area of construction or the water area. And then there are tracking pads, which are outside of construction areas and are made of crushed stone or gravel at vehicle access points to get rid of the sediments on the trucks.
So, and then in terms of large-scale management strategies, you have buffer strips, which are, if you see the picture here, are small areas of usually grass or other easily farmed plants that surround construction areas and it's just there to help hold the surrounding soil and prevent erosion, which then also helps to control the air, soil, and water quality of the area. The second strategy is cellular confinement systems, seen in the picture at the bottom, which are used to stabilize either hills or also sometimes actually flat areas, and it just helps keep and hold the soil in place to obviously avoid erosion. Thank you!